Hey, what's going on, NGT community? It's Guns4HIRE, and I apologize. I know, welcome to the 8 Ball. This is my weekly question and answer type video series, and I, honest to God, totally forgot about it for Friday. I forget what I was doing. I'm preparing for a game battle, so I was looking at a lot of the maps, trying to plan out strategies, because if you saw the video, Fisher from the original NGT Elite and myself are going to be doing doubles. And so preparation is key, right? I mean, I look at a lot of stuff, I look at a lot of old footage, I see what other teams are doing, and I try and replicate that. So I apologize, my head was not in the game, so to speak, this whole game. Anyway, I am here, and we're here to answer your questions. I should say we, like I have a split personality, maybe I do. Or maybe I do. So anyway, it was supposed to be on Friday, it's on Saturday. My apologies. One thing too, you see me always looking down to my left? There's no reason. I know a lot of you are asking why I do that. I don't know why I do that. I have no idea why I'm talking, and I'm like, but it's like I'm just trying to gather thoughts, and instead of looking at this, I'm like, what am I trying to think about? It seems a little awkward. It's kind of like, like I'm pausing. I'm not looking at anything. As a matter of fact, I think it's some studio lighting box that I haven't opened up, some dumbbells that I hadn't picked up. Oh well, whatever, I'm a gamer. As long as these are strong. Must. Anyway, let's get into some questions here, because I have a feeling this one might be a bit of a long one. So, well, that's what I do best, right? You can always just pause it, click it, come back, go make yourself a sandwich or some lasagna, and then when that's all done, then I'll still be rambling on and on to the break of dawn. So let's get to the first question. And the first question is, can you show us, like your house or crib style or your gaming setup? I'm going to show you my gaming setup. I'm going to show you what my desk looks like and all the equipment behind me and everything like that I use and go into detail. But I'm not going to show you a house only because the house is always, we do always constantly clean it up. I say we, but I mean melees. It's not, and believe me, and if you're a girl, you're like, oh, typical. Absolutely typical. It's because I'm constantly working, and we both agree that that's kind of the way it needs to be for now. And plus, hopefully in a year from now, I'll be moving into a better home, and I'll be glad to give you a tour. As soon as I move in, I'll give you like a housewarming tour. How about when I buy the new house, the very first day that we actually step in and walk in there, I'll give you a tour and I'll upload that video. I think that would be cool. It'll be the first time that we're seeing it. Or maybe even on a house hunt or whatever, I can show you some of the houses and you guys can help me sort of pick out a house that you think is cool. I think that'd be kind of awesome. Totally getting you guys involved. Anyway, let's take a look. I'll show you a clip of my gaming setup. Alright, I'll just quickly show you the setup here. Obviously that's my chair. It's a Sealy, Sealy Posturepedic, although it's kind of a cheap one. I forget how much it costs, whatever. Not a high-end one anyway. Then we move over to my original configuration. It might take a little bit for the picture to sort of... There's my 32-inch LCD Samsung TV, which I game on. That is a 22-inch monitor, HP monitor. And that's obviously the computer that it's connected to, which is only a quad core. It's nothing spectacular. I think 6 gigs of RAM. And of course my iPhone, constantly charging so that Spider-Bite can always get a hold of me. That is my editing mic. It's the blue version of Yeti. You have the Snowball. Well, this is the next version up is the Yeti. Whatever, it's good sound. I know it's kind of looks like a phallic symbol, but in the back there, so hopefully you can see that. You can see I've got 2 routers. One is Bell, one is Rogers. I've actually got 2 internet sources, and I've also got an iMac upstairs that's wirelessly connected. Always have the phone here, obviously. My white PS3 controller, PlayStation 3, piggybacking my Xbox. They don't normally, the heat, I only have one on at any time, so it doesn't really interfere with it. I got to figure out something else after. Spindle of some blank DVDs, my Xbox controller, some disc polish for scratches, and some music CDs that a company sent me to try and make some videos with, some montages. And here's my newest computer. This is a 27-inch monitor, I think a ViewSonic, and then there's the computer it's attached to, which is a 6-core processor and I believe 8 gigs of RAM. Oh, and there's the mixer for my Astro headset. And of course you saw this blinking little thing there. No surprise, I've showed it before. The XEM cross converter, I use that on the Xbox because I'm not comfortable using the Xbox controller. So I use that so that I can actually use my PlayStation controller instead of the Xbox controller, and that's about it. Yeah, that's pretty much my gaming setup, and you can see there's like 6 million cables I've got to organize there. I actually have this one organized a hell of a lot better. You can see the one cable running down. That's because I've actually organized those cables, whereas this just sort of started from the beginning and it looks like a fire hazard underneath there. Anyway, so that's it. I've got, and there's my fuse box. Oh, and one last thing here. There, you can probably see it. There's the punched in, or hole or whatever. You can actually see the crack in the drywall there. That's when I'm gaming and I get really frustrated and I smash my fist like an idiot into the wall. So there you go. I do get angry. And just take a look. Usually the first thing I turn on is this. Obviously this monitor here, and the first thing I go on to is exactly where it is right now. As soon as I get up in the morning, it's IGN. I check the news to see what's going on in the world. I check a few news, which is why you see IRLs all the time. I mean, it's important that we all know what's going on in the gaming world. At least I think it is anyway, and I like reporting. There's 6 million news stories that come out every day, but I try and just give you guys the ones that I think are the most interesting or relevant. Anyway, that's my gaming setup. So I'm surrounded by and bask in the glow of monitors. That's it. Okay, well, there you have it. There's the game setup. Nothing spectacular. Really just things that we need in order to continue what we're doing here. And we do try and put out quite a bit of content. Now, one of the questions, another question that I kind of sort of can't answer is, how much money do you make? Number one, if someone hasn't taught you that, you never, ever, ever ask someone how much money they make, because it's really none of your business, and I will never tell you that. That being said, I know that you're curious. For the most part, you're curious of how this works. How do you, as Spider-Bite and GUNNS4HIRE, how do we actually do this for a living? How do we do this as a business? And it's basically no different than TV. It's all ad revenue, which is why you see ads on the videos. When you make it in this world as a video producer, the way that you sustain yourself is through advertisements. We don't choose the ads. We don't say, I want this ad or that ad. Google does that. We have no option. We also don't control how often they come on to the actual thing. It's supposed to be every so often. I don't know. I don't know, because even I get frustrated when I click on it. If I want to review something and all of a sudden there's an ad and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta wait. Like the latest, I think it's the Google ad that runs like almost a minute long, and I'm like, oh my god, I just want to watch the video. But anyway, such is life. That's the way it is. So stop skipping the damn ads. You're like, yeah, I got ad blocker. I'm like, no, not the ad blocker. Some of you actually asked, can we see your kids or whatever? And I know some of you are like, oh, dude, what are you, blah, blah, blah. I'm not that way. Eventually, you probably could, except, right now they're a little young, so I don't like putting them out there. I don't like putting them in front of the camera and everything like that. My oldest probably would love to do it. He'd be all over that. He'd be like, yeah, and he'd show off, and he'd show you his super friggin' Star Wars lightsaber skills. And anyway, and another thing, you may be hearing a lot of background noise. I've decided, normally when I do these videos, if the family's home and everything like that, I go upstairs and I say, hey, can you just keep it down for like 10 or 15 minutes or whatever, because Daddy's recording a video. So they usually are quiet or go upstairs and play some games or whatever. But I thought, yeah, whatever, this is personal. This is, me and talking to you guys in my home, and not really directly about video games. So I figured out, whatever, if you hear them screaming, hitting each other, and pounding and yelling, or getting frustrated with the video games right above us, such is life. Anyway, I'm not going to show you that. When they're older, and another question sort of related to that is, will your kids take over NGT when you stop? I mean, Stop, I don't know if that's the right word. I can probably always do news, always will, as long as NGT is alive. Yes, I mean, videos, probably when I'm getting too old, although that's, you know, pretty subjective what too old is. Maybe some of you are like, you're already too old. Yeah, you're already too old. I don't want to watch any more of your videos. You disturb me. Hey, well, you know what? What are you going to do? But I still enjoy them and I still want to do them, so until that time, no, I'm not going to stop. But with my kids, and the same thing with Spider Bites. I mean, Spider Bite has 2 girls, and we actually did talk about that. We're like, you know, it'd be kind of cool to bring them into the business. And honest to God, every single day that we do this, we learn more and more about the business, because that's really what it is. When you see the other channels and it's just, you know, this video or that video, you know, they're doing it because they just want to put out videos and everything like that. We do it because this is our business. This is what we do for a living. This is what puts food in front of my kids and pays for my mortgage. That being said, the business is not about, and I know I see a lot of comments like this too, and this is going to be a long one, so this is going to be a long IRL, because I really wanted to talk to you about this as fans and, you know, part of the NGT community. You know, we hear a lot of comments, and quite frankly, they're sort of relevant and kind of true, but at the same time, there's a reason for it. I get comments like, oh, you guys are sub whores, or you guys are view whores, or whatever it is. Yeah, we are. That's the business. I mean, we need views to continue going. That's the reality of it. And we need subs to maintain that base, to make sure that we're, you know, growing the community. It's a good indication when the subs are going up, the subscriptions, that what we're doing is the right thing. If they're going down, then what we're producing is not entertaining. But here's the bottom line. We want lots of views. We want a tremendous number of views. But at the same time, you only get a lot of views when the content is entertaining. And it goes hand in hand with subs. If the content, you know, sometimes we do little tricky titles and stuff like that, and some people get really angry. In all honesty, we're just having a little bit of fun. I do the news, but it's like a headline. You look at breaking news. Sometimes the breaking news in a newspaper or on TV are a little bit misleading. They're kind of on topic, but you're like, ooh, I want to watch that, or ooh, I should read that. And then it ends up not being as dramatic as the title sort of, you know, says, but it gets your attention. And that's the whole point. We want a growing community, so sometimes we need to get, boom, everyone's attention, and then you can decide whether or not the video is good or not. The content is the same. I always put the effort, and SpiderBite puts the effort in to make sure that the content is entertaining to you. Because if it's not, you're not going to stay, and you're not going to watch them. So yes, we want tons of views. Yes, we want to grow subscribers out the wazoo. I mean, we want to be like really well-known big channels, but known for just pure quality. That's it. We don't want to just spam you with 30 or 40 videos of the same thing over and over again. We want to make sure that as we're growing and we get to that monumentous 750 to 1 million subscribers, that it's based on the quality, that we're giving you a wide variety. You're not going to want to watch everything, but we want to make sure that what you do watch is going to be entertaining to you. So, yes, we are view whores. Guilty as charged. On a side note, and a related one is, how much did Machinima pay you? Not enough. There's an easy answer. We'll move on to the next one. Here's a question. What do you watch on YouTube? Well, number one, I used to not have time to do it, but I always tried to, you know, with Spider and myself, we have 2 huge parts of this business. And SpiderBite predominantly sort of focuses, not that he ignores the YouTube community by any means, and he doesn't, but we can't both be doing a little bit of everything or else it seems really thin. So I do a lot of, like you see, a lot of IRLs where I talk to you and get really sort of involved in the YouTube community, and SpiderBite has a tremendous dedication and a lot of work to do with our website NGT community. And not that we're disrespecting this community here, but really our goal and our focus is on our website community. This is something that we've created from the ground up. YouTube is an extension and a way to reach out to you so that you're aware that we're out there. And we always upload basically all of our videos to YouTube as well, so it's not a big deal. But for contact purposes, we generally focus on the website. We focus on the website because it's, in all honesty, it feels like our home. So if you really want to become part of you know, the NGT community, and not just simply watching our videos, but really get involved in the forums and talk with other like members that have been with us from the very beginning, know a lot about NGT. They're very friendly, and believe me, we monitor the crap out of those forums to make sure that we're not getting spammed and that people are respectful for one another. You know, everyone's got their opinions, and everyone and anyone can state them as long as you're respectful, and that's the kind of environment we sort of create. And that's actually kind of related to another question: is how did we meet Bentley and Meatwagon? And some of you were like, oh, well, they had a director contest. No, that's not actually it at all. Bentley and Meatwagon have been fans of NextGenTactics for a long time. Like long ago, probably near the beginning, before or around Modern Warfare 2. Probably, I think, before that. They were fans of ours, but the key difference is that they were involved, like I said, with the website. This is really, I mean, if you really want, and by all means, if you don't want to, that's cool. But the reality is we create and we get people involved that are involved in our website. We're more likely to sort of latch on to people and help people and promote people. And almost all of our things are always released. Everything like the NGT store, shirts, promotional stuff, live stream, beta testing, all that stuff is always first on our website. And sometimes weeks before you'll see it out here. And that's just the reality. That's the way we do it, because that's our, like I said before, that's our little baby. We're like, ooh, there's a little NGT, yes he is. So if you want to get involved, that's really where you should be, is the website. And on that note too, it's not always been the easiest to navigate on there. We know that, which is actually why we've actually already started a huge overhaul of the website. And we'll be pushing that again in the future, but a huge overhaul of the website to make it, you know what, more professional, easier to see the videos, and not just our videos, but other people's videos, the forums, the site, everything will be set up. Believe me, when you see the new website, if you look at it now, if you're on there and you're subscribed, you know what I'm talking about. It's not the easiest to navigate, but when the new one comes, you'll be like, whoa, like it's night and day, flipped, and we're working hard on it. Can you hear that? Hear them running around? Those crazy kids. Yo, shut up! Daddy's trying to record. Anyway, so we are overhauling it. Bear with us. Probably at the end of March. I think at the end of March you should be able to see a complete new face of our website, and hopefully that's good. We're really looking forward to it. I'm excited for it. I think it's the 2011 push for NGT. All right. I don't know if I started this question, you know, because I'm rambling on so much, but who do you? Oh, I know. I didn't even answer it. Who do you watch? Oh my God, who do you watch on YouTube? Then I went blah 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 and on the website, and we're overhauling a la 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 la. On YouTube, I watch a lot of videos. Predominantly I watch a lot of bigger directors. You know what I mean? I watch, not a lot though, and I know some of you are huge fans, but I do watch the odd one from CNanners. I do like Woody's Gamer Tag. I watch a lot of members from Team Noble as well. I try and see what they're, you know, predominantly it's because it's a business. So number one, it's because I like them and I like where they're going and I like their style, but I want to see what they're doing and how the community reacts to them. And I mean, because they do a lot of stuff that we don't do, and I want to see if the rest of the community likes it. I'm like, okay, well, that's a great idea. Why don't we start doing that? Why don't we start bringing that type of video to you? Some of the stuff we don't do and probably won't do, but, you know, for the most part, I do watch a ton of them. Muzzafuzzas, I don't know, that's just the name that came to mind. The guy who camps, lots of them. Only Use Me Blade. I watch a ton of those people. I don't typically watch, and I'm sorry if you are a director on there, but I don't typically watch anyone on Respawn. The only reason being is because there's a ton of people on there, and no offense to ones that are starting off small, because we started there too, and it took us a long time. Despite people's opinions like, oh, they're so big and they're ignoring everyone. We grew. I mean, that's reality, but we started off tiny for a long time, and nobody helped us grow. We had to grow by ourselves by just putting out content. That's it. When Machinima Respawn signed us, we were at around, I think, 10,000 or 10 to 15,000 subs at that point. And then we jumped to 30,000. Not a huge jump, but, you know, I mean, if you look at it, it's a 200 to 300% increase. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I don't watch that. There's too many of them, and quite frankly, I don't like all of the content on there. I don't like what they allow on there, and there's just too many. There's too many of the same thing over and over again, which is, and I don't want to be bashing or anything like that. It's just not my thing. It's not something that I'd be interested in doing. It takes too long. Whereas I know when I go into individual directors' channels, you know, like Woody's Gamertag, I know I'm gonna like pretty much anything that he puts out. So it's very easy for me to go on there and go click, 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 click. Whereas the other one, I'm sorting through like 30 or 40 per day, and it's, you know, and I'm not saying that there's no good videos on there. There are some really amazing videos on there, just harder to find, that's all. So that's it. That's what I watch. I watch a ton of stuff. I even watch, despite, you know, what people think and all the animosity and the arguments and the head bashing, because we're kind of similar, but I do watch Fisticuffs as well. You know what? It's he's a different flavor, but he speaks his mind. You know what I mean? And that sometimes pisses people off, just like I do. I piss people off. But you know what? I'm not going to hold back my opinion. I've learned to sort of filter it a little bit, and Fist is kind of like the unfiltered raw emotion, and that's just going to hit you, and you're either going to love him or you're going to be PO'd and you're going to put bad comments on his channels, which you see. But you know what I mean? To each your own. Maybe it's not your cup of tea, but to others, you know what? He's got a die-hard fan base, and that's the way it is. So I watch everything, and I used to watch videos and channels that were like, oh, you totally gotta watch these guys. These guys are amazing. They're really small, but they really deserve a chance. And you know what? I used to absolutely do that. But I've been stung by too many people thinking that I'm like the big guy trying to sub-whore. I simply, you know what, I get links from people saying, hey, check this out. I look at it, I make a simple comment, and suddenly I'm the bad guy. And I'm like, whoa. So I do not do it anymore. Don't bother sending me links. It's not because I'm trying to be an a-hole here. Don't send me links. I'm not going to look at it. I may look at it, but you will never see me make a comment. I will not comment. I will not favorite. I will not do anything. Because the backlash is too bad. For whatever reason, you know, when I make a comment now, suddenly I'm the bad guy, even if it's just neutral. Then I don't even bash them. I'm just like, oh yeah, well, here's some information, and all of a sudden, I'm the bad guy. So I don't do it anymore. There's certain individuals that have ruined it, and it's very dangerous for Spiderbite or myself to even make comments on any videos now, which is a real shame, because I am involved extensively in the YouTube community. I really do get involved in there. All right. Here's the last question. See, this was a long one. It's a long episode because I missed Friday. I made it long for you. The last question is, what would I do to make Call of Duty better? To make Call of Duty a better game? And I see this a lot on the videos. And I know even our community, some of you guys are coming down really hard on us, hard on me and other directors for saying that, you know, we're bored of Call of Duty or bored of Black Ops, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you play something else? Again, it goes back to the fact that we are a business, and if majority of you and a great number of you are watching Black Ops videos, then it's in my interest to try and create something that is entertaining to you. And this is difficult because if I am bored with the game, it makes it very hard, and you can almost feel it or hear it in my voice when I'm talking about the game, and that's not good video. That's not something that you want to see. If you know, I'm like, oh, blah, blah, I just went 70, you know, and whatever, and then I called in this, and I killed him that. You don't want to listen to that, you don't want to hear that, and I understand that. Believe me, I'm not an idiot. I understand that, you know, bitching and moaning about games is not something that you want to go there to be entertained. You want to go and watch a Black Ops video, it's because you like Black Ops, because you want to see Black Ops game footage. What you don't want is to click on a Black Ops video and hear someone saying, this game sucks, I hate this game, I'm so bored of this game, blah, 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 and then you're like, this guy sucks, all you ever do is complain, dislike. Not good. So I am trying to get away from that. And the recent exploit is doing GBs. I love game battles. That's what GBs is for those who are like, GBs, what the hell is that? Competitive gameplay. I like doing it because it takes you outside the realm of normal public match, and the stuff that sort of annoys you, the noob tubes, the RPGs, all of that stuff there that you think, you know, you get frustrated, is not allowed in competitive gameplay. Plus, you're playing against people that are very serious and focused on the game. The game is almost irrelevant. It's being competitive. It's about winning. It's about, you know, that type of gameplay. It's very, very different approach, very different mindset than playing public matches. So this is what I'm going to be doing with Steve Fisher, one of the NGT Elite members, original members. And by the way, don't send comments or anything like that if you watch the video. The reality is there's basically no more NGT Elite. We're not recruiting, we're not looking at expanding anymore, we don't have time for it. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm sorry, but it's not going to happen. People are like, how do I join your clan? We're not a clan. NGT is not a clan, we're a community. We're a community where we do videos. So a lot of people are confused, like, how do I get on the NGT clan? I'm like, well, if you want to become part of the NGT community, go to the website. Other than that, you're not going to get on the clan because there isn't any. Anyway, how would I make Call of Duty? See, I tend to ramble a lot. I apologize. This is going to be like 45 minutes long. Anyway, how would I make Call of Duty better? I've always had a lot of ideas on Call of Duty to make it better. Because I've, you know, played all the time, I get involved. Now here's the reality. The concepts brought to light in Black Ops, what Treyarch wanted to do with Black Ops, are fabulous. So when you hear me complain about it, it's absolutely not to do with the concepts that Treyarch wanted to bring into Call of Duty. You know what I mean? The balancing, no stopping power juggernaut. I've always wanted that. Brilliant move. The reporting abuse and everything like that. Awesome. Needs to be done. Great. Theater mode. Awesome. You know what I mean? Awesome addition. Great for videos. Great for videos. We haven't done a lot of work with it, but at least that you know, ability to do that is there. That is amazing. The balancing and everything like that. I mean, kill streaks, non-stackable kill streaks, meaning you can't use one kill streak to get to the other one. Again, great move. The problem is not in the concepts that Treyarch wanted to bring. The problem is their ability to actually apply them. Is to bring us a game that, you know, brings all those concepts and highly polished. Because I'm sorry, but there's too many problems with Black Ops. The frame rate issues, the lag, just the gaming engine itself. Here's what I say. As a stepping stone, as a way that this game would have friggin' blown us all away and actually would have been a lot more fun. Take all of those concepts, everything that Treyarch wanted to bring, and essentially did bring, but let the old Infinity Ward bring it. And I'm sorry, I know if some people are, you know, huge fans of Treyarch, and believe me, I was too. If you watched all of the videos that I did leading up to Black Ops, you could hear it in me. You could see that I was a huge supporter of Treyarch. When I played, I loved World at War. One of my favorite Call of Duties. Not a lot of people followed it. Never did you hear me bash it. The only time I ever complained about World at War was the MP40, because it was almost the one and only overpowered weapon in the game. A small, did I just stutter there? A small price to pay in the overall scheme of things. You know what I mean? But I love that game. But I was, and I was excited to hear all of the concepts that Treyarch was going to bring in. It was absolutely the right steps to take in the Call of Duty series. But then the gameplay and the issues with frame rate, lag, they're horrible in ping or lag compensation software. Basically, whenever, you know, someone has a bad signal, and then if their host, the software that they have, which is very unique to each developer, maybe tweaked this or that way, is supposed to sort of level out and bring up everyone, regardless as to what their signal strength is supposed to regulate the gameplay. But that does not happen. Every time you're like, you know, whenever I'm playing, if I'm shooting someone and someone starts shooting at me, and I duck behind a concrete wall, and then, oh, I die, and then on his camera, he's still shooting at me, and I'm still standing there like a goon. I call that getting Treyarch, and that's what I'm talking about. Those issues are unacceptable in multiplayer. And while they happened in Modern Warfare 2, they weren't near as prevalent as they are in Black Ops. So that's what I'm saying. Take all the concepts and everything that Black Ops did, and let the old Infinity Ward team do it, because an Infinity Ward is non-existent. No matter what you hear, don't be fooled by it. Infinity Ward is a skeleton crew. Absolutely, they're over at Respawn. Respawn is the new Infinity Ward. But here's my idea, and a few of these things are actually coming to light, and we're seeing that. And if you heard the leak of Bungie putting out their MMO FPS, that is what I envision for Call of Duty. A continuous world, like a World of Warcraft, but Call of Duty style. Not, and I'm sorry, I know, and I'm not bitching, I'm just telling you right now, not by Treyarch, not with their horrible, I would not play that. It would be the biggest disappointment of the world if I ever heard of a Call of Duty MMO coming out and Treyarch is the one making it. There's no way. I'm not even going to put out all the videos. I'm not going to be like, oh my god, I can't believe it, it's going to be so amazing, blah, blah, blah. This has put Black Ops has put such a bad taste in my mouth that I can't support them anymore. I can't do it. I can't support Treyarch in any future endeavors. I'm hoping that these new companies like Sledgehammer Games or Raven, if they do an MMO, I'm on board. I don't care. I don't know who they are, but I'm willing to see it. That's the next step for Call of Duty. Is this world that we can constantly go in. Not just a random free-for-all game here, a deathmatch game here, but a world where we invest in our players. A world where our character that we're developing, there's not 6 million different classes. Like, there are classes, but you invest in your character. You unlock things. Maybe you got to travel to across the map, across the world, like in the Call of Duty online MMO world. Maybe, you know, there's a shop that actually is able to offer you special sights for your weapons, but not offered anywhere else in the world. And so you and your clan, your group, have to travel across the land and actually make it, not just go, boom, you're on that map and you're all sitting there. Part of it is the adventure of getting to that spot. Think of a Call of Duty first-person shooter where you're traveling as a group and same sort of gameplay, but tight gameplay like Infinity Ward brings. Okay? Maybe there's some a refined structure of kill streaks and everything like that. More like, you know, if you think of World of Warcraft, more like magic powers. You can call in these once in a while if you're doing well. And then as you come across hordes or even bots, intelligent bots, you know what I mean? If there's not a lot of people and say a straggler comes through, maybe he joins like bots and stuff like that, and you have these fights in random spots in the map where all of a sudden these fights break out. You're trying to get to this town far away, but you're going to come across skirmishes, and then when they're done, you can actually pick up their ammo and lock it in there. But you run out of ammo. You got to be friggin' clean, you got to be tight, you can't just be spraying all over the place. Intense, fast movement like Call of Duty. Think of it as COD 4 or Modern Warfare 2, tight, clean movement, but with limited ammo. You gotta find it. Maybe there's ammo boxes somewhere in each fight scene that you're having, and then you can also collect ammo from the dropped dead bodies, and that's what you're gonna collect to keep on moving. But you gotta conserve, you gotta be careful in what you do. You know what I mean? And then you get there, you can upgrade weapons, you can rest, you know what I mean? Maybe you have that component there. Something way beyond what's out there right now. An immersive Call of Duty world. Now that's something that I would pay a monthly fee. People say, oh, I wouldn't pay. If that world existed, I would definitely pay for it. And I would be so consumed by that, I would stop making all other videos and only do Call of Duty MMO. I promise you that. Maybe if we all get together, we can create something like that. You know, if we ever get big enough, why not go to these people and say, this is what you need to do. As a community, we all freaking pitch in, like, you know, if we had 1 million subscribers and we all pitched in $10, I mean, we all dropped tons of cash. As a collective NGT community, game software developers, and then we all pitch in $10 or whatever, it's $10 million. Yes, games cost a lot more for that, but if we're going to a developer and saying, we're going to give you this as a startup, make this game for us, they'd be fools not to. And we as a community would dictate what's actually in it. I think that would be brilliant. I would love to see that. That would be the absolute best Call of Duty that you will ever play in your life. Very complicated, but nonetheless. And then everyone that pitched in that $10 to get it sponsored, we could buy the game for $25 or whatever the difference is up to a normal cost of game. You know what I mean? We get a huge discount. I don't know. Pipe dream? Probably. Is it coming? Looks like it, because I mean Bungie's already making an MMO FPS. So why not Call of Duty? It's not that crazy of an idea, and I guarantee you, if done right, and not by Treyarch, that game would be amazing. Anyway, that's it. I've rambled on long enough. Woo! That was a long one. I'm GUNNS4HIRE from NextGenTactics. That's the 8 ball for this week. Remember, if you want to put comments or questions or anything like that, you need to add us as a friend. So go on our main channel, send friend requests, give us a few hours or even a day, and we'll approve it. Put your comments, well, not even a day, a few hours. We're always checking. Put your comment or question down, and if you see a question that you want answered, don't repeat it. Put a thumbs up on the other ones, and I'll do my best to make sure that those are answered. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for being part of the NGT community. We're going to grow, and if we get to 750,000, maybe we will have the ultimate Call of Duty experience. Something that will bring back the light, something beyond, you know, I mean, whatever Activision, yeah, evil, I'm the devil. But something that all of us can go, wow, back in the saddle again, baby. That's it. Peace. Thousands of movies and TV shows streamed directly from your PS3, Xbox 360, Wii, or PC computer. Click on the link in the description of the video for your free 1-month trial membership, courtesy of NextGenTactics.